So, I'm going to skip around a little bit more than I should, if I'm being honest. The last tutorial video I did, I covered basic character creation and a couple basic commands. Now I'm going to go over the general hub city of the mud and kind of skip over the noob area that the mud has. In all honesty, I'm only skipping it because different races go to different noob areas. So there's a lot of variety there, and I want to be able to put up something soon, as opposed to much, much, much later, which it would take, because I don't know most of the noob areas that well. So I can't really give advice on them. However, I can give advice on how to leave a mud area. In particular, leaving mud school, which is the human mud area. I think there are a couple other races that go here too, but I don't know what they are. But how to leave a mud area? Very simple. At the end of each mud area is usually some mob, or at the beginning. In mud school, it's the beginning. If you look at this woman, you'll see that her name is Mrs. Pippet. And the thing about any mob named Pippet is they're usually the mob that can send you home. So if you say help, Mrs. Pippet responds. And Mrs. Pippet says that we can go to all sorts of areas, but Midgaard is the area we want to go to. So we'll say Midgaard. And soon she'll say that we can go as long as we say that we're ready to go, and we'll say ready to go. This is how you get out of a noob area. Generally, each noob area will have a Pippet somewhere. It won't always be Mrs. Pippet, but each of them has a Pippet, to my knowledge. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's one that doesn't. But I know there is a Mr. Pippet and then a Miss Pippet, I think. I don't know. But each one can get you to Midgard. And once you've done that, you need to know how to survive. So there are a couple basic commands. We just went over say. We already know how to move around, hopefully. Well, apparently I'm dumb and can't look at the screen. But each character does need to eat and drink. So just south of the main area, the first room that you're in, is the temple square, which has a fountain, and we can drink from this fountain. We also come into the game with a couple items. You'll notice I grabbed a couple more items since then. But you come into the game with a water skin and some rations, as well as some equipment. And EQ is equipment, I is inventory. I think I went over that last time, but it doesn't hurt to go over it again. Now, we know how to drink, we don't know how to eat. So if you go a little bit more, just off of Market Square to the west, you'll notice to the north there's a bakery. Now, how do we look at stuff in the inventory of, well, not the the inventory of a shopkeeper, but how do we look at what the shopkeeper's selling? and that's simply by hitting list. I have no idea why it is list. Don't ask me. That puzzled me for a long time, but it is list. And we can buy, like, 1 bread. Hopefully if I don't space it wrong. Haha. And now I have bought bread. And it'll tell you when you're hungry or thirsty. So, eat and drink when you're hungry and thirsty. You'll also get tired eventually. So, sleep when you're tired. Sleeping is just like... Now that that is out of the way, there are laws, and you can read the laws here. Well, read tablet. And those are the rules. Don't kill, don't steal, don't get drunk in the areas where a mob can see you. Don't go around naked. And don't litter. There's more rules than that. I don't know why it doesn't list them. You also can't go around with your weapons drawn. So if I draw my weapon, suddenly I'm now equipped with my weapon. But I can also sheathe my weapon, and that puts it back in my weapon belt. I can also remove it and put it in my inventory. Draw it. Remove quarterstaff. And I no longer am equipped with quarterstaff. And I can wear quarterstaff or wield. Both of those work. And now I am with quarterstaff. This mob right here is Hassan. He will judge you for your crimes. There are city guards who wander around the streets, and if they catch you committing a crime, they will arrest you, and they will take you to Hassan, and Hassan will judge you. And if you break too many laws too often, eventually Hassan will just straight up murder you, and you will be dead until you come back, and then you won't be dead. And you will be sad, because you will have lost XP, because that is what you lose when you die. So yeah, there are a couple key areas to note in this. I'll go over that later. But the most important one to know is this person right here, Crafty. Crafty will give you directions to anywhere. If I say, oh, bakery, give me directions to the bakery. East, 3 south, west, and north. Oh my gosh, wow. And if you ever get lost, you can just type recall and it'll take you right to this first room. This also works in the Newb area, and it'll take you to the first room that you ever go into. But your recall gets set to here once you go into Midgaard. But yeah, that's some of the basic stuff for starting out. Nothing too crazy yet. Like I said, I didn't want to go into the Newb area, but that's kind of the Newb areas, because some of them are a little bit more complicated than others, and I don't really know that much about them. If people want me to talk about the Newb areas, which is unlikely because no one ever really watches these or looks at these, but if literally anyone comments or says anything about wanting me to cover the Newb areas, I will. I definitely will. But yeah, hope this helps. Hope that if you have found these, that you are excited about playing this mud. If not, that's fine. I hope that I can convince you sometime. But yeah,